All right, I think we all know by now. I would say the cat is out of the bag, or how do you say it? Or maybe the rat is out of the bag. I don't know. But things have been wild in Atlanta. And I just feel like Thug has been exposed. He has been exposed. And I'm just going to watch this video. I love this YouTuber's commentary. Blackie Speaks, shout out to him. So I'm just going to do a reaction. I tried to warn Thug. I tried to warn him. He hard-headed. He don't listen. Okay, let's watch this.
Most popular rappers out of Atlanta has been caught up in snitching allegations that could ruin his career. The internet has been going crazy after an alleged audio leaked. Young Thug, one of the most popular rappers out of Atlanta, has been caught up in snitching allegations that could ruin his career. The internet has been going crazy after an alleged audio leaked claiming to show Young Thug cooperating with detectives. Thug quickly denied it, firing off a series of tweets defending himself. But whether it's real or not, the question still stands. Did Young Thug just expose the street code for what it really is? In my opinion,
See, that's the thing, y'all. I saw the picture with Drake. I'm waiting for the Drake audio. Who else, y'all? Y'all name them. I feel like he talked about everybody. Nobody's safe. Oh, man. All right, go ahead.
If you ask me, I think he did. Back in May 2022, Atlanta rapper Young Thug's life took a dramatic turn. He was arrested alongside 27 members of his YSL crew and got hit with a RICO that included over 60 charges, including drug trafficking, firearm possession, and more. Thug was denied bail and ended up spending over 2 years behind bars in Fulton County Jail. By the time his case finally went to trial in November 2023, it had already become one of the most heavily covered legal battles in rap history. After losing over 900 days locked up, Thug eventually struck a deal in October 2024. He pled guilty to multiple gang, drug, and gun charges, while also pleading no contest on a racketeering conspiracy charge. The judge hit him with 40 years, but in reality, it turned into just 15 years of probation. And although Thug could finally walk free, there were very strict conditions. Like he can't return to Atlanta except for family emergency.
This man even lucky to like get out of there. He lucky to even get out of there. You would think he would come out with some sense. That's a life scare. Boy came out and caused hell. That's crazy.
For events and has to perform anti-gang presentations in the community and can't be seen promoting gang culture in any ways. And after all that, Thug went through after showing his disdain for snitches, now Thug is caught up in a situation that tells a whole nother story. So there's this audio that leaked a few days ago of supposedly Young Thug cooperating with detectives. So in one of these clips, you can hear Young Thug talking about how he's made promises, I'm assuming, to keep his mouth shut, right? And then he says, and I'm paraphrasing, whatever you want to know, I'll tell you, speaking to the detective, just don't tell the world.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Promises. Make promises. Just keep promises.
Hold on, y'all. See, I didn't hear this. I didn't hear it. How are you mad at Gunna? It don't make sense to me. But Gunna is so hated. That boy said, yes, ma'am, 3 times. All right, go ahead.
Anytime you ever want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But I tell the world.
What you know?
Yes, you can.
Hey. I don't get number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't giving it to me.
And then in this other audio of Young Thug, you can hear him name dropping Pee Wee Roscoe.
This motherfucker Wayne from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga, they shot at this nigga to us.
He's so comfortable, y'all. He's so comfortable. He ain't stuttering. And he not lying. He telling the truth. At least lie to the, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna tell a lie. He telling the truth. I believe him.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did. They said Roscoe, but I don't wanna block out y'all case by saying.
Who was the man who shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus back in 2015.
Dang.
He's close with Thug, worked as his tour manager, and he did time for this crime. So Thug is allegedly cooperating with the police, even name dropping Lil Wayne in the interrogation room. Now this audio has allegedly been out for some time, and I had never really heard about it, but it just went viral on the internet, and Thug responded right away on X, formerly known as Twitter, shutting down all the allegations. He tweeted, "They didn't play my interrogation video in court case. I helped my brother. #ratware, ? Basically saying if he really snitched, why wouldn't prosecutors have used it against him? After that, Pee Wee Roscoe, the same guy who was accused of shooting up.
I just feel like him even responding just makes it worse. Like, it's better. I don't even know if he should have even said anything. Or maybe put it in the music. I don't know.
Lil Wayne's tour bus back in 2015 came out defending Young Thug. He said, "Jeff clean as Listerine. He did what a real street nigga was supposed to do." Now, I'm sure most people know how vocal Young Thug has been about snitches. Most famously, after his release, he's condemned
So
rapper.
what is it then? What did he do then? I ain't no street person. Ain't snitching when you talk to the police or the detectives or you cooperate. Ain't that what snitching is? It ain't like a little snitch. It ain't a big snitch. It's all the same, right? I ain't no street person, so maybe I'm wrong. Let me know.
Gunna, who also used to be a part of his YSL crew and did time in the feds for the RICO. Gunna eventually got out, ran up a bag, did his thing, and now he's one of the more successful rappers out there. His career is doing extremely well. But the controversy around his name was that when he eventually got out, Gunna took an Alford plea deal. Basically, it's a way for you to formally accept guilt in court so you can take the deal, but at the same time, you can still say you're innocent. It's kind of like telling the judge, "I didn't do this, but I'll take the punishment anyway." And that's how the Snitching label got stamped on Gunna. There's absolutely no proof that he actually shared anything in detail, but his reputation took a hit within the street side of hip-hop as a result of that.
That's
and then
crazy.
Now, ironically, we have Young Thug doing any and everything he can prove to strangers on the internet that he's not a snitch. The so-called street code, particularly in
That's what I'm
hip-hop.
saying. These strangers. Right? Like, what? That's what I said. Like, you ain't got nothing to prove. I guess you got to prove it to the streets, but the streets already know. They be knowing stuff before before the public even knows stuff. The streets already knew. They probably already knew, like, Thug was you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, K-Dot, Kendrick, he had the song. Everybody correlating that song now, because he was on one of it was another audio that was released of Kendrick Lamar. He was dissing Kendrick Lamar and was saying how Kendrick ain't gonna be as big as Drake because he don't do collabs, which he was mad that Kendrick didn't collab with him. But yeah, it was a line where, he was just saying, I know niggas who snitching and it's worse than Gunna. Like I'm saying, people already knew. The streets already knew what Thug got going on. So you trying to prove something to the public? To strangers? You look crazy. Just don't speak.
It's one of the most hypocritical things I've ever witnessed.
Digging yourself down in a father hole.
They always talk about how real they are, why they never speak to the police, but obviously all that is an image that they're selling. It's a very powerful image because it projects a fake kind of authenticity and boldness that you don't typically see in the real world. And the fans, they eat all that shit up. But obviously, it's all marketing, it's all branding, and in the end, it's a product. And speaking of the so-called street code in general, honestly, it's one of the most backward things I've ever witnessed or seen in my entire life. It's protect the streets over protecting the community or one's own family.
The streets don't love y'all back. The streets don't love y'all back.
Instead of loyalty to one's own life. And I'm sure we all know this, but there's no honor among thieves, right? These are the same people who, when someone from their crew gets locked up, they end up trying to fuck his baby mama and pretend like they have like a shared bond, which really is not built on anything, right? Because when you look at what happens in a lot of these cases, when they eventually are in that cold interrogation room, you see how fast they turn on each other.
Exactly.
I mean, you even saw this in the YSL case itself. Half the members cooperated with the feds the same second they got arrested. The biggest lie that's been told is that there's morals among this group of people who have no issues with shooting at anything that moves, which includes women and children. There's absolutely no structure to how things are done because the whole thing is built on lawlessness. When there's no structure, there's no real way of operating, especially in times of pressure. And that's why the so-called street code falls apart the moment somebody's facing real time. In that interrogation room, survival takes over and survival has no rules. And then we have guys like Gunna who get shunned for separating themselves from that energy, and they're the ones who get called fake. No, that guy didn't fold. He made the smartest possible decision that he could make, which was cut off the bad energy.
Because Gunna would have been a fool to go down. Gunna would have been a fool to go down and be like, I'm not talking to the police. You know what I'm saying? I'll serve whatever time. I'm not telling. Go to jail for 10, 20 years when you ain't did nothing. He would have been a fool. I think he did the right thing, y'all. He did the right
roll
thing.
in a different circle, put down a cup, pick up some better habits. I'm sure a lot of people have seen Gunna's fitness transformation. He's doing very good health-wise.
Right.
Meanwhile, the street side is the one that's really losing, because take away the image and what are you really left with? Jail time, a bad record, fake friends, your BM getting fucked on, money you can't spend. That's the side that doesn't get glorified because that's not the so fancy aspect. I mean, think about it. You make a bunch of money in the streets. What can you really do with it? Because anything under your name.
And that's the thing. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not in the streets. But like, I just feel like you don't really make that much money. Or if you do, then you're in that position where you leave the streets. You leave it all behind. You know? But a lot of y'all in the streets and y'all still broke. Ain't even got no money. That's not even a real thing. They don't be in the streets. The rich people, they don't be in the street. Once you get a certain amount of money, you out of there. If you smart.
Isn't gonna cut it. You've been unemployed for the last 10 years and then suddenly you go to Chase trying to, deposit a bunch of drug money, and then that's when you end up in one of those body cam videos. And this is how a lot of street rappers' careers actually get started. Either they front somebody money who end up laundering it for them through music or another type of business, or they get fronted money themselves from a, let's say, investor. I think we really have to start changing the narrative on the street shit, man, because the fact that it's 2025 and this lifestyle is still being glorified by a grown man is crazy.
I hate it.
It doesn't offer anything productive in the real world. As a matter of fact, it's pure destruction, and we know that because we've seen what happens when people entertain that way of living. You know how many people are in the morgue currently or doing life in prison, which is basically being dead, because
I just hate that, like, in our community, nobody learns or gets it until it's too late. Until it's too late. Like, you going to their funeral or you going to visit them in the cell. It's too late. Don't be that person, y'all. Whoever watching this, don't be that person. Make a change right now today. It ain't worth it.
Thought they were following a street code. The amount of potential that's been wasted is crazy. And I think it's time we start looking at it by calling a spade, which is, it's lame. There's no honor in it. The so-called street code doesn't exist. And the sad part is there's a lot of people who find out too late. I do want to say that a lot of them are products of their own environment, but I do want to say that the majority are a product of their decisions which led them to that lifestyle. It's a myth that keeps on getting perpetuated and sold to the masses because there's money in selling the image. Anyway, I think Young Thug kind of exposed that the street code most definitely is a myth, but what do you guys think? Curious to see what you guys have to say. I'll catch you guys in the comment section below. Most importantly of all, I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. I'm out. Peace.
Bye, boo-boo. Appreciate it. Like I was saying in my last video, man, where the OGs at, man? Where the old heads at? Just getting these kids out the street or telling them. Get them some knowledge. What are OGs that's in the jail cell? Y'all need to be calling these kids and telling them, look, you don't want to end up like me. I'm in here for the rest of my life. I don't know. Some people just hard-headed. They don't get it. And one thing about Thug, too, he was talking about money and everything. Like, money can't save you. I remember I was scrolling, and he was, like, posting. This was, like, after all the allegations or, all the stuff that came out. And he posted, like, jewelry, and he was posting, like, stacks of money on his story. And I'm just like, the money can't save you, Thug. It's nothing wrong with being, like he said, a public figure with a certain image, If you just want to be somebody with money, I understand you want to be respected as a man, but you don't have to show that like you from the streets or you in a gang to be cool and respected. You can just be somebody who I was in the streets, but now look, I'm living this lavish life. I got money. You know, I'm taking care of my kids, my family. Why people ain't okay with that? Maybe this is just something that gotta happen so people can learn from it and do better. But yeah, it ain't looking good for Thug. It ain't looking good. Y'all please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you made it to the end. I thank you so much. I'm gonna see y'all on my next one.